go to Jim Chalmers, the Treasurer, holding a news conference here in Canberra.
Okay, everyone good? Okay. Well, what was really clear at the G20 meetings last week in India is that some parts of the global economy are in recession, some parts are proving more resilient, but there are risks in the global economy and we are not immune from those risks. Right around the world, inflation is moderating, but it is still higher than what people would like to see. We will get a read on our own inflation numbers in a quarterly sense and a monthly sense later in the week, but we've made it clear that inflation is moderating in our economy. We would like to see it moderate quicker. It will be higher than we'd like for longer than we'd like, but it has come off that peak in inflation that we saw around Christmas time, and certainly less than, the expectation is for less than what we saw at the beginning of 2022, remembering that the worst quarterly read for inflation was before the election last year. Now, the government's primary focus is rolling out cost of living relief for people doing it tough. That is the overwhelming primary main focus of the government, is that we roll out the billions of dollars in cost of living help that people need right now to get them through a difficult period. And we're doing that in a way that takes the edge off cost of living pressures without adding to inflation, a point that the Reserve Bank Governor has made earlier on. We've got a lot going for us in this country. 500,000 jobs created under the life of this Albanese Labor government, a record for a first year in office for a new government, 500,000 jobs. Our labour market is remarkably resilient. We've also got the first surplus in 15 years. And in the coming weeks, the officials will finalise the final budget outcome for the year just finished. We now expect that the surplus for last year will be around $20 billion and likely north of $20 billion. But we will do the work and the checking over the course of the next few weeks, and we'll release the final budget outcome in the usual way. The current expectation of the officials is that the surplus for 22-23 will be around $20 billion, or more likely just north of that figure. Now, we've managed to provide this cost of living relief at the same time as we're repairing the budget, and we're providing this cost of living relief at the same time as that we are investing in a more productive economy so that we can lay the foundations for future growth as well. And part of our efforts, whether it comes to productivity or economic policy more broadly, is to make sure that we've got the right institutions and the right leadership of those institutions to take our economy and to take our country forward. That was the motivation behind the last time I was here in this room with you appointing Michelle Bullock as the new Governor of the Reserve Bank. And today I wanted to announce the new head, the new chair of the Productivity Commission as well. Today, Cabinet has agreed to recommend to the Governor-General that Chris Barrett be appointed the chair of the Productivity Commission for a term of 5 years. Chris's appointment recognises that if we want to build a stronger economy, then we've got to build stronger economic institutions, and that means renewing and refocusing and revitalising the Productivity Commission. Chris Barrett is a very experienced and very well-regarded economist and public servant. He has spent almost 3 decades working in public policy, the majority of that time as a senior public servant. Currently, he's Deputy Secretary of the Economic Division of the Victorian Department of Treasury and Finance. He's got a Master of Public Policy from Princeton, where he was first in his class. He's got a Master of Arts from the University of Melbourne and a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Melbourne as well. His appointment comes after a rigorous merit-based process which involved interviews with 2 departmental secretaries and the Australian Public Service Commissioner as well. His experience, whether it's from key senior roles in important international institutions to practical experience delivering reforms in both state and federal governments, will be absolutely invaluable to our thinking as we renew and refocus and revitalise the Productivity Commission for the future. We see the PC as a really crucial institution. As we try and get productivity growth going again in our economy, as we try and reform and renew our institutions, Chris's appointment will be an important part of that effort. I'm looking forward to working with Chris on our PC reform agenda, which will pick up the ideas and contributions which have been gleaned from months of consultation on the best ways to take the PC forward. The Treasury has been leading quite a detailed and comprehensive consultation process as we go about making sure that the Productivity Commission is the best version of itself. I really want to thank the outgoing chair, Michael Brennan. He has made a significant contribution to that institution and to the national economic debate, and I'm grateful for that and for his time before that as a senior public servant and a ministerial advisor as well. Under Mr Brennan's leadership, the Productivity Commission has delivered more than 20 reports to the government, including the productivity inquiry that I received from him a couple of months ago. Subject to the Governor-General's approval, Chris Barrett will commence in his role at the PC in September. I'm looking forward to working with such a well-credentialed, experienced and well-regarded economist and public servant. He's a very good appointment and we're very pleased that he's agreed to take it up.